breaking news now coming in. Remember, the Bangladesh opposition leader Khaleda Zia has been sentenced to 5 years in jail for corruption. This is the big story that Republic is breaking to you at this hour. The verdict was read out in a court in Dhaka after the police used tear gas to disperse thousands of her protesters who, remember, did gather outside the court. She is 72 and she herself denies misusing international funds donated to a charitable children's trust. But that is the big allegation against her now, after which she's been sentenced to 5 years in jail for corruption. And this sentence, effectively, viewers, means that she is barred from parliamentary polls this year. She's been saying that all these charges against her are politically motivated. But what happens to the BNP after this is a story that everyone is looking very keenly towards. Our colleague Niranjan also is with us from our Mumbai newsroom to take that story ahead. Niranjan, at a point where parliamentary polls are due this year, what happens to the BNP now?
Well, it's a big setback for Khaleda Zia. The Supreme Court in Bangladesh has sentenced the former Bangladeshi Prime Minister to jail for 5 years. And this is a 10-year-old case of corruption that was being heard in the Supreme Court of Bangladesh. The court, while delivering the 5-year jail sentence, the jail term has also sentenced her son, who's Tariq Rahman, to 5 years in jail. He's currently in London, though. As far as Khaleda Zia is concerned, the reports we're getting is that she is in Bangladesh, and among others convicted, former Bangladesh Nationalist Party MP Qazi Salimul Haq Kamal, a former Principal Secretary to the Prime Minister Kamaluddin Siddiqui, two others including a businessman. And as far as Khaleda Zia is concerned, according to reports that we're getting, she has for now denied the charges for which she's been handed a jail term. The Anti-Corruption Commission has filed the case accusing Khaleda Zia, 5 others of swindling 2.1 crore Bangladeshi taka, that's in Indian currency nearly 1.6 crore rupees. So the case is of misappropriation of nearly 1.6 crore rupees that came from a foreign bank as grants for orphans. So this was a case involving misappropriation of funds of allegedly that the Prime Minister was involved in this, and her son was involved in this, and that other secretaries in the government and also some businessmen were involved. Now, this was of a fund that was meant to be grants for orphans that came in from a foreign bank, but allegedly was swindled by Khaleda Zia and associates. Now, there are more than 30 cases, according to reports that we're getting, including cases related to fund misappropriation against Khaleda Zia and other BNP leaders. And this is big because, we know that the elections are coming up. And this means if she is convicted and she's been handed a jail term, this would mean that she could be barred from running in the December national elections. So she could be, she may not be able to take part in the elections of Bangladesh in December. That's the national elections that are due to take place in Bangladesh in December.
Yes, Niranjan, effectively, that's exactly what I'm picking up from a lot of these reports doing the rounds, that she already is now then barred from these parliamentary polls that are due this year. Also, this quote, remember, coming in from her, Niranjan, she says, and I quote, "I will be back, do not worry and be strong." But what happens to the BNP now? Who's going to be leading the BNP?
Well, we will have to wait and see. As of now, we don't have details. In fact, as far as the first reaction of Khaleda Zia is concerned, she's denied all of these charges that are being made. But many ministers from the ruling government have gone on record. Law Minister of Bangladesh, Anisul Haq, reacting, saying that it depends on the decision of the Supreme Court whether Khaleda can contest for the next election or not. Now, these are reactions, live reactions that we're getting as we speak. Now, we will have to wait and see whether she is indeed barred from contesting the elections. According to the rules in Bangladesh, she may not be able to contest the elections. Now, as for the constitution of Bangladesh, a person cannot contest the national polls if he or she is sentenced to jail for 2 years or more. In this case, she's been sentenced to 5 years in jail, which means that she may not be able to contest the elections. But getting in some of the reports of what really happened inside the courtroom, BNP leaders breaking down outside the court moments after the verdict was delivered, and still hopeful somehow that they had trust and faith in the court and that they would go on to contest it. But we will have to wait and see whether anything of that sort really happens.
Yes, and Ms. Khaleda and her party, remember, say that these charges are a part of a plot to keep the leader and her family out of politics. Republic continues to get you the latest on that big story. For the moment, Niranjan.